detail. Halt. Ready? One. Ready? Two. Ready? Three. Ready? Four. Breathe, man. One. Order. On. Left face. Forward. On.
Served in World War II. Originally, NAS Corpus Christi included 6 outlying fields, and it trained about 300 pilots a month. During the war, the base grew rapidly and doubling its output to almost 600 pilots a month. Before the end of World War II, more than 35,000 naval aviators were trained at Corpus Christi. Our flying machines and our tactics have changed significantly since then. Today, the base is one of several naval training facilities located throughout Texas and the Southeast. Our pilots spend about 18 to 24 months in training, and we produce about 300 pilots at Corpus Christi every year. Quite a difference from the 300 pilots a month the installation was able to train at its inception. NAS Corpus Christi is home to the Corpus Christi Army Depot as well. CCAD is considered the largest helicopter repair facility in the world. And it has been a tenant of NAS Corpus Christi since 1961. Clearly, the people of Corpus Christi, like those in Fredericksburg, take great pride in their nation's defense. As I look around, I would like to take a moment to welcome the veterans who are here with us today. Today we celebrate your service and the service of those who fought and died at your side. Texas, as much as any state, has a long and patriotic history, and Texans have always answered the call to defend their nation's freedoms and democratic ideals. Today, Americans across the nation and around the world will pause throughout the day to observe Memorial Day. Memorial Day has its origins in the Civil War. Originally referred to as Decoration Day, it was an observance of those who had made the ultimate sacrifice in one of the bloodiest wars in our nation's history. The meaning of Memorial Day has expanded over the years, and we now know it today as a celebration and remembrance of all Americans who have made the ultimate sacrifice in all wars. Our ceremony today, like many taking place across the country, is dedicated to all American servicemen and women who have given their lives to protect our way of life. Today we honor and pay respect to those who fought to protect the liberties that our founding fathers proclaimed in the Declaration of Independence, and that were so thoughtfully and carefully framed in the Constitution of the United States. To those who died securing our peace and freedom, to those who served in conflict to protect our land and sacrificed their dreams, keeping America the land of the free for more than 2 centuries, we owe our thanks and our honor. It is important not only to recognize their service, but to respect the devotion to duty and to ensure the purpose for which they fought will never be forgotten. From the soldiers and sailors who fought bravely during the American Revolution to the men and women serving today, America's fighting forces have always responded to their nation's call for duty. Why do men and women choose to serve, to sacrifice for our country? I suspect each of us has our own reason, but reviewing countless letters to home from fallen heroes who fought and died for our country since World War I, historians of the American Legion feel there are 4 basic reasons. They do it for a strong national defense, to keep America safe and secure against its enemies, and to protect our way of life. They do it for their fellow comrades, for those fighting by their side. They do it for our core values of God and country, family, patriotism, our religious heritage. They do it for their children so that they can grow up in a country that is strong and free. The men and women who have fought in America's battles and who served their country in support of the military made significant sacrifices fighting for the freedom and liberty that we enjoy today. Too often we fail to remember those who gave their life, or those whose lives today bear the scars and the lasting memory of the sacrifice and commitment, our wounded warriors. But there are many who remember vividly as the lives affected were sons and daughters, friends, co-workers, and neighbors. They remember that these individuals made an unselfish sacrifice with the assurance that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness required the ultimate sacrifice to their nation. I think as one who has chosen to serve, it is also important to recognize the families that serve at our side. I myself grew up the son of an Army sergeant, and I've always considered that during the time my father served in the Army, so too did me, my mother, and my 3 brothers. My wife has been married to me for just 7 years, and in that time we've already moved 4 times. A military spouse has much more than regular moves to deal with. They are often left at home alone to raise children and deal with the countless hardships that extended deployments involve. I'm often honored and humbled when individuals approach me in public and thank me for my service. This has almost become a new custom in our country. It means even more to me knowing what my father and other American servicemen and women faced on return from Vietnam. But I often wish that the public could thank my wife and my son for all the sacrifice that they make. In truth, even for those who make the ultimate sacrifice for their country, it is their families that remain behind and bear the burden of the sacrifice for a lifetime. We know that our lives have changed since the events of 9/11, and that makes this day especially significant. And today is not just a 3-day weekend. Ask any veteran or loved one or service member who has fallen, have them tell you that what Memorial Day means to them. Our nation is still at war. Young men and women are losing their lives in battle every day. For those of you in the military now and for your families, these are difficult days. And while those who have died in Iraq and Afghanistan are fresh in our minds, we can't forget the others, our fathers and grandfathers, aunts and uncles, the heroes of World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the Persian Gulf. How can we honor that kind of sacrifice? What is our responsibility to them? They gave their entire lives. We owe them more than one day. To pay tribute to them, we must teach others about the sacrifice they made. Help other generations understand that the act of committing yourself to your country and being willing to fight for freedom, the freedom of your fellow citizens, is among the most noble of endeavors. Find ways to ensure that their legacy endures, their history deserves, telling and retelling. Find a way in your life, at work, at home, wherever, to keep their memory alive. And finally, continue to gather together on this day. Treat Memorial Day with reverence and respect, and others will follow your lead. I want to thank all those veterans and current service members here today. We appreciate your dedication to your country. Many of you have lost friends and relatives in combat. By being here today, you are keeping their memory alive. Thank you for inviting me here today. May God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Captain Edgecombe. Very well done. And I know that Fleet Admiral Nimitz would agree with you. We need to think about the men and women who serve this country today and who have served it more than one day out of the year. Thank you very much for those remarks. You'll notice around the Memorial Courtyard 56 wreaths. Anyone who doubts me can go around and count them if you would like. We have 56 wreaths. We have a memorial wall endowment program here, and these wreaths honor ships, units, and individuals. And as I read either the ship's name or the unit's name or the individual's name, I would like to ask the individual who is representing that particular ship, unit, or individual to please stand. The USS Bulk and Porterfield, USS Baltimore, USS Baton, USS Bush, USS Cebu, USS Calenti, USS Colorado, USS De Haven, USS Zealous. The units: 16th Combat Cargo Squadron, 41st Bombardment Group, 158th Regimental Combat Team, the 302nd Fighter Control Squadron, the American Battleship Association, Civil Internees of Japan, 1st Air Commandos, POWs aboard the Ersan Marsud, 6th Marines, U.S. Naval Base Hospital number 15, Captain Henry Flagg, USN, Chief Boiler Technician Lester Roddick.
Ready! Aim! Fire! Aim! Fire! Aim! Fire! Free cover! Arms! Right! Face! Freeze in! Arms!